Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well. This is David Hoffman from Davidsbeenhere. Today I want to introduce you to the country of Suriname. Suriname is a small but diverse country on the northern coast of South America. It's so far off the beaten path that many people don't even know it exists, but it's an absolute goldmine for travelers who are looking for a destination that's full of mystery and exciting but hasn't been overdone. I spent 11 unforgettable days exploring Suriname with Jenny Tours back in July of 2019. A lot of people don't know this, but Suriname is actually one of the most culturally and ethnically diverse countries on the planet. Its culture and food have been influenced by the indigenous Amerindian people as well as Africans, Indians, Chinese, Dutch, and Indonesian populations. That mix of cultures has shaped Suriname into a country that is unlike any other place on the planet. The country's phenomenal cuisine carries many of these influences, and when you add in the natural beauty of its jungles, beaches, and rivers, you have a travel destination that is truly unmatched. Before we jump into the video, please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell to get updated when all the new videos drop. Now, are you ready for the top 10 places you must visit in Suriname? Let's go. First up, we have Suriname's largest city and capital, Paramaribo, a cosmopolitan melting pot with a rich colonial past. It's the perfect place to get a taste of the many cultures that make Suriname such a diverse destination. From the Indonesian favorites like lumpia and liver satay at the Sonam market to the mouth-watering pork buns and chicken shumai at the Chinese market that pops up on Sundays, Paramaribo is a heaven for foodies. You can also try a phenomenal Indonesian sticky rice with coconut and Indian jalebi at the Quata Sunday market. For a more savory Indian cuisine, try Martin's House of Indian Food and Rumpram restaurant, and to sample some of Paramaribo's Javanese offerings, check out the never-ending buffet at Jakarta restaurant. You can get a fantastic Surinamese breakfast at General's Food House, which sells over 25 options that have Dutch, Indian, African, Chinese, and Indonesian influences. And if delicious African food is calling your name, you can't beat the creamy and nutty crunchy pita soup with chicken at Suposo Soup Cafe. And if you're traveling on a budget, I recommend staying at the Downtown Oasis guest house in the heart of the city, which offers a comfortable and affordable place to lay your head at night. But if you want to splurge on a more luxurious accommodation, try the posh Royal Tarica Hotel, a modern boutique-like hotel that's definitely on the pricey side. Located between Paramaribo and the riverside town of Albina is a small town called Tamanredjo. Roughly 95% of the population is Javanese, so it's the perfect place to dive further into the cuisine from this Indonesian island. If you're hungry, head over to Warung Lenny restaurant, which has an extensive menu with over 20 dishes to choose from. I recommend their chicken, fried banana, rice, and beans, which came with sprouts, a spicy chili sauce, and a peanut dressing that is simply out of this world. Up next is Galibi, which is known around the world for its pristine, virgin beaches and sea turtles. Galibi is located at the meeting place of the Maroni River and the Atlantic Ocean, just minutes away from French Guiana. You can only reach it via a 100-minute long boat ride up the river from the town of Albina. While you're there, be sure to try smoked catfish, which is a local specialty. Then, take a tour of the village where you'll find a small primary school and a few houses. Because Galibi is so close to the ocean, you can find some of Suriname's best seafood there, including curry crab and fresh local crab. Try it with their local cassava bread and gamey wild boar stew. If you really want an exotic treat, try the crab brains. Of course, the main reason people visit Galibi is because several species of sea turtle lay their eggs there. Nesting season is every spring, from February to June. If you visit Galibi during these months, exploring the beaches at night to get a glimpse of nesting mothers or hatching babies is a must. Unfortunately, I was about a month too late to see any turtles, but you can always head to a seaside hut on the northern side of the town that show all the different turtle species that nest on Galibi's beaches. They even have life-size sculptures of the turtles on the beaches so you can see how big they are. Our next must-see destination in Suriname is the town of Bronsweg, which is located about 80 miles south of Paramaribo, near Bronsberg Nature Park and the Brokkelpondo Reservoir. The reservoir is the largest lake in Suriname, but it wasn't always there. It was formed in the 1960s after the Afobaka Dam diverted water from the Suriname River and filled a forest-covered valley. The trees there are long dead, which gives their ghostly forms an eerie quality as they rise out of the water. The Stone Island Lodge along the reservoir shores is the perfect place to stay to enjoy everything that the area has to offer, including treks into the jungle and one of my favorites, fishing for piranha. After you catch piranha, you can get it fried up at the lodge. It's a delicious and exotic way to start your day, but just be careful with the bones. There are a lot of them. Use your tongue to feel around so you don't almost swallow one like I did. In the middle of the Brokkelpondo Reservoir is the Howler Monkey Island, which is home to a colony of, you guessed it, howler monkeys. They're pretty elusive and know how to stay out of sight, so seeing one is luck of the draw. While you're on the island, be sure to check out the local poultry farm, where you can meet a massive yellowfoot tortoise. When you get hungry, take a quick 10-minute drive into Brunswick, a mostly maroon settlement. The Maroons are descendants of the African slaves who escaped the plantations, went into hiding in the Suriname's interior, and some even mixed with the native Amerindians. There you can find some outstanding Surinamese barbecue that has influences from both Africa and Southeast Asia. In order to get to our next destination in Suriname, you'll have to pass through the tiny town of Achoni on the Suriname River. Achoni might be tiny, but it's extremely important as it provides transportation to and from many of the villages along the upper Suriname River. While you're in town, stop at the Riverside restaurant, where you can try a mind-blowing Indonesian-inspired chicken with noodles and french fries. It comes with a sweet, flavorful sauce that is out of this world. Wash it all down with some refreshing Maribo beer. If you're lucky, you might even come across a woman who sells homemade Indian vada and an outstanding mango chutney with an African twist. It's the perfect snack to eat on the boat ride to our next destination, Isla Island. Because there are no roads as you travel deeper into Suriname's interior, the only way to get around is by boat. From Achoni, you'll have to ride 45 minutes up the upper Suriname River to Isla Island. There, you'll find the cozy bungalows of Isla Resort, which offers unspoiled views of the river and the dense jungle around it. There's no Wi-Fi or cell service here, so you can enjoy nature here without any distractions. You'll be able to try local Amazon food like chicken with sweet marinade, cassava soup, and Indonesian-inspired jerk chicken, and bitter eggplant. The island is centrally located between everything you could want to do in the area. You can go on a 45-minute trek through the jungle on the other side of the river to see if you can spot any native wildlife like monkeys, sloths, and tropical birds. Just don't forget your mosquito repellent. The mosquitoes in Suriname are vicious. The one thing I forgot to mention is that Suriname is hot. Temperatures regularly soar into the 90s and triple digits, so taking a dip into the Suriname River is one of the best ways to cool off. Near the shores are soles, which are areas where fast-moving water rushes between rocks and creates a funnel effect. If you sit down in the soles, anchor your legs between the rocks and let the water pound your back and neck. It's like getting a natural massage. Don't worry about the native predators like piranha, anacondas, and caiman in the soles. They like much calmer water. If you like to look for caiman, head out in one of the boats after dark to find them. But the highlight to any visit to Isla Island will likely be the quick trip you take across the river to Jaja Village. Jaja is a small maroon village of only 500 people. There you can tour the village, meet locals, watch them cook, and buy some souvenirs like the beautiful handmade scarves or a carved wooden paddle. Next, we're going to double back toward the Brunswick area to explore the next destination, Browns Mountain. Browns Mountain is a 500-meter tall mountain in the middle of the Brunswick Nature Reserve. The mountain is covered in thick, lush jungle, and you have to take some horrible, treacherous roads to get there. At the top of Brunswick Mountain, you can enjoy breathtaking views of the Brokopongo Reservoir. From there, you can trek through the jungle to two of the mountain's beautiful waterfalls. The paths can be very steep and tricky to navigate, so you have to be moderately fit to handle them. They can also be slippery from recent rain, so go slow and be sure to wear hiking boots instead of sneakers. It's a hard trek, but reaching the waterfalls makes it all worth it. To get to our next Surinamese destination, Palo Mao, you'll either have to double back to Albina or Paramaribo. From Albina, you can take a 12-day boat ride to get to Palo Mao, or you can just hop a 45-minute flight out of Paramaribo, Zorg, and Hoop Airport. The planes at the airport are tiny, but the flight over the rainforest make it all worth it. Palo Mao is a tiny village deep in the Surinamese rainforest along the Maroni River. It's about as far off the beaten path as it gets. I highly recommend staying at the Palo Mao Jungle Lodge, a rustic and minimalist accommodation with electricity and comfortable beds. With so much nature at your fingertips, a hike through the jungle is one of the best things to do in Palo Mao. I suggest teaming up with Meds Tours for your time in Palo Mao. They'll take you on a jungle excursion to Pote Hill, which will include an amazing jungle-inspired lunch of fried fish, tropical coleslaw, and yuca frita with a sweet and nutty peanut sauce. You can also explore the primary and secondary forests in the area and go fishing along the river. You'll have to go on a boat ride through some wild, chaotic rapids to get to the best fishing spots, which are on rocks in the middle of the river. As your adventures in Palo Mao continue, don't forget to visit the village. This Amerindian settlement features just a dozen or so homes built on stilts, a wooden Baptist church, and an open-air communal hall. There, you can meet some of the locals if they're around, buy some locally made souvenirs, and even try a locally brewed beer. After you arrive to Paramaribo, one of the best things to do is to explore the village of Lelidor, which lies along the main road south of the capital. The village is mostly Javanese, but there are also significant East Indian, European, Creole, and Portuguese Jewish populations there as well. Lelydorp is a great spot to buy locally made handcrafts like pottery and woodwork. There's a potter in town who makes vases, mugs, and statues out of clay and charred tree bark. You can also find the craftsman who carves paddles, plates, model boats, and even stools in the shape of animals. When you get hungry in Lelydorp, check out the local food stalls where you can find Indonesian dishes like lumpia, satay, and noodles. I recommend trying the soft and tender chicken sausage and the boiled vegetables with spicy peanut sauce. The 10th and final thing you must do in Suriname is explore the resort area called Jonaha Margaretha. This area is located just east of Paramaribo, near the place where the Suriname River and the Komahavenu River meet. If you go out on a boat at sunset, you might get to see some pods of pink-bellied Guyana dolphins splashing around the water. Further down the Kamahina River is a series of canals that lead down to the Jonaha Margaretha plantation. The canals are beautiful and peaceful and reminiscent of the Kerala backwaters in India. The plantation is even owned by an Indian family who will serve you dinner when you pay them a visit. My Indian Surinamese dinner included chicken curry, roti, and aloo with greens. It was so good. After nightfall, you can leave the plantation and take a boat ride further down the canals and into the nearby mangrove swamps to look for caimans. You must bring some mosquito repellent like off deep woods, because the mosquitoes here are brutal. And if you're lucky, you might get a glimpse of some caimans swimming in the water. Your guide may even be able to catch them right out of the water. And there you have it. Those are the top 10 places you must visit in Suriname. Touring this country will change your life. From the beaches to the jungles to the wildlife, it's one of the most beautiful destinations I've ever traveled to, and I can't wait to experience it again. The mix of cultures there is unlike anything else I've ever experienced. It's amazing to see and taste how different cultures influence one another. You will love it. And that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video of the top 10 places you must visit in Suriname. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment below, subscribe to my channel for more awesome travel content. I'll see you in the next travel food adventure somewhere around the world. Peace.